Hey, internet folks. So I've got literally one try at this because my phone battery's low because I'm not responsible about battery charge. Basically, what I've been thinking about, look at that cat in the window. Oh my God, that cat is so pretty. I don't know if you can see it. I don't even know if I'm pointing the camera properly. So I've been thinking about something all day kinda, and it's basically this whole idea of get your house in order before you go ahead and criticize others. So that's a thing that you'll get a lot if you do any amount of like social critique. Basically, you criticize society and then people say, yeah, but who are you to criticize society because your house isn't in order. It's like kind of almost a bastardization of the let he who has no sin cast the first stone type of thing, except it's, stones can only be cast at literally anybody with sin or something to that effect. Anyways, I try not to get into any of that type of judgment of people when I do things. I like to criticize people on their ideas and the things they think and do. I don't use people's life circumstances to judge them, and the reason that I don't use people's life circumstances to judge them, and especially to judge if their ideas are good, is because one, ideas and life circumstances are different things. They're just different things entirely. So Darwin, for instance, Charles Darwin, was a huge fucking racist. Evolution, still a good idea. Still gonna listen to him about evolution, even though he took it to weird fucking racist places. Let this car go by. Bam. So, I try not to get into that type of like judginess. Also because life can just fuck you over sometimes. I think like the William Blake version of it is the best laid schemes of mice and men gang ofte gley, or often go awry, which basically, yeah, that's like, no matter how well you thought shit through, maybe life just fucks you over anyways, because life does that. The Islamic version of the same principle is people try to plan against God, but God is the greatest of planners. Or you may have seen the Dennis Prager version of that, which is God is the greatest of deceivers, because yeah, they always trying to make the Muslims look schemy. Of course, it's fucking Prager. All that to say, no matter what you did to prevent your life from getting fucked, life may just have different plans for you. And you're just gonna have to deal with that. And it doesn't make your ideas any worse if life fucks you over. All that said and put aside, I've been thinking about it all day because as much as self-criticism is necessary, is valuable, is an integral part of any socialist's existence and any socialist movement, self-praise should also be in there to a certain extent. You should understand what you're doing well so that you know when people's commentary about you is pertinent or not. Basically, let's examine my house and see if my house is in order. So, who am I? What do I do? How do I live? I am a person who works in the public service, specifically as an educator for mostly underprivileged children. I then take those paychecks home, and at least more often, 10% of it goes directly to charity. Now that charity work, donation more than work, goes to, I'm not gonna, ask my own D that much, goes to a mix of things. So one of them is a foundation for underprivileged children. One of them is the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. Another thing that I do, I donate $5 per paycheck to the school foundation. They recommend $1, and it's like, is getting $1 off of people's paychecks really difficult? Is that like, fuck? But anyways, and I also buy homeless people nights to stay at the Salvation Army, because for $8, at least around here, they get a night to stay there and 3 hot meals. And, you know, like, so just buying them that directly, I can go there and, let this car pass, I can go there and get multiple people a night's stay all at once. So that's just effective. It's not that I don't trust them, it's that it's just easier for me, for my own purposes, to just do it for a bunch of people all at once. That's why that's how it goes. Anyways, I don't smoke weed or tobacco. I don't drink. I don't take any sort of drugs that are not prescribed to me by my doctor. My apartment is spotless, so the actual house is in order, to the point where, like, I would honestly just eat off the floor anywhere in there. And the whole thing smells of coconuts 24/7, because coconuts are delicious, and I will fight you if you say otherwise. I listen to classical music and read poetry for fun, just if you needed some Shapiro-esque quality to respect. I don't know, fuck Ben Shapiro. And I mean, really, honestly, fuck anybody that thinks that, like, listening to classical music and reading poetry for fun is some sort of, like, oh, I'm better than you. Like, fuck those jagoffs. I do it, I just don't think it makes me better than anyone. I speak 2 languages fully fluently, but that's just benefit of being an Anglophone from Quebec. I also read and write fairly well in another 3 languages, and I use my quintilingualism to have conversations with people in countries around the world about their circumstances and their situation before I place judgments on those countries. I'm currently speaking to the admissions of a university, even though I don't have a degree and I'm not currently working on one. That is a bit of a hole in what I've got going on for myself. My question is, at what point is my life in order enough that my social angst, my feelings about society, don't directly get pinned on my house not being in order enough? At what point is it not the fault of how in order my house is that thinking about society leaves me bummed out? Is it possible that instead people just use that whole keep your own house in order thing as a very insulting knee-jerk reaction to just dismiss anybody saying anything they find uncomfortable? Because the reality kind of is that if I'm right about my social critique, then we've all got a whole lot of shit to think about and a whole lot even more shit to do. And that I can see definitely being massively uncomfortable for people. So it's a lot easier for them to just go for a direct personal insult. But frankly, when you're dealing with a person who makes a career out of educating underprivileged children, makes a point of charity, speaks 5 languages, reads poetry for fun, exercises and takes their vitamins every day. I've got my 5K time under 27 minutes. I've got my 15K time under 90 minutes. It becomes a lot more bullshit sounding when you're saying your house just isn't in order and that's why you're sad about society. Because frankly fucking speaking, my house is more in order than just about anybody I know. That's not an insult to them. That just happens to be my circumstance and how I go about taking care of myself. And I usually don't go out of my way to correct people directly when they say that, because then I'm doing their game. And judging people based on their circumstances rather than the actual merit of their ideas, like I said, not a fucking thing I like to engage in. So, you know, frankly, everyone who thinks that the depressing things about society make me depressed because I don't live a wholesome enough lifestyle can kind of go fuck themselves. And maybe, stop trying to see what the problem is in somebody's life that makes their ideas different from yours, and maybe just look at the actual character and content of their ideas. Hey, fuck you, Jordan Peterson. Now watch me walk off with my shoulders back.